Here's the strange but uncomfortable truth about modern Britain. The more obedient you are, the more trackable you become. So if we opt for digital ID, or any of its variations, we've already done the final part of the work for them. Because we already pay our taxes, keep our addresses updated, renew our passports, appear on databases, we stand still long enough to be scanned. So congratulations, you're now the easiest model cattle citizen in the country to monitor. Meanwhile, the people causing actual chaos, they're not lining up for retinal scans, they're not updating DVLA details, they're not using real names. Criminals live outside of the grid, that's why it's called the criminal underworld. Citizens live within it. And look around, lampposts with blinking black boxes, buses with red lens scanners, supermarkets watching you like a nun in a Catholic school. And now the adoption of live facial recognition cameras being rolled out by police. And they maintain it's not a surveillance state, it's for your safety. And you've probably started to notice that most big retailers are using facial recognition technology. I kid you not, I saw it advertised in Home Bargains, as if the hardened criminals are spending their afternoon comparing discount took with the missus. And let's be honest, shoplifting anyway is barely policed. Unless you're wheeling out a flat screen telly and a microwave, your average minimal wage security guard isn't going to risk their life. Meanwhile, a large portion of the youth nowadays wear balaclavas as casual daytime wear. I remember when JD Sports was just a shop for leisure clothing, not the official tailor for petty criminal outfitting. But maybe they were ahead of the curve, future-proofing themselves long before the Home Office pressed activate on Britain's great facial scanning experiment. Irresponsible citizen, clear face, HD, logged and timestamp. Let's not pretend this is innovation and not out of Eric Blair's nightmares. We're told that digital ID will make life easier and punish those who don't play part in the game. The same way your bank freezes your account until you prove you are you. The same way renting a flat, buying a SIM card or soon existing will require a QR code approval. But what's it keeping Britain safe from? Not the roaming knife hobbyists, not the gangs with 5 surnames and 0 paperwork. And if you allow me an esoteric indulgement, which is of course what the ruling class always seem quietly obsessed with, Britain today feels like it's being run by a very imbalanced, overt Saturnine system. Saturn rules boundaries, limits, discipline, the cold machinery of law and structure. When utilised properly, it creates duty, stability and civilisations. Twisted, it produces controlled chaos. Or worse yet, devours its own. Restrictions appear in all the wrong places, and protection vanish where they matter most. You get tight boundaries around speech, but none around the forces dissolving national cohesion. More rules for the obedient, fewer expectations for the disruptive. It's a cosmic imbalance. Limitations for those who follow the rules, limitless expansion for the forces that erode them. Old Britain, the Britain of etiquette, duty and community, didn't need heavy external enforcement. Order lived inside the culture. Yes, it had taxation, classism and the usual British burdens, but the folk inside the Isles carried themselves with self-regulation, humour and stoic charm. Now the boundaries feel external, arbitrary and selective, a castle reinforcing its inner courtyard while leaving the gates open wide. If you want to slowly erode identity, stability, belonging, this is exactly how you design the system. Feed the population a story that more tolerance, more compliance, more dissolving of themselves will somehow strengthen them, while the hourglass quietly empties behind the curtain. This Saturnine energy isn't the enemy. Saturn is neutral, the keeper of form. But in the wrong hands, its power doesn't build civilizations. It strips them down and feeds their people into something global, rootless and hollow. Batteries for a machine that never stops asking for more. Combine all this with scanning, databases, digital ID, and you realise something uncomfortable. None of this is about safety, and none of this is about crime reduction. It's about administration and data mining. A Britain not run by community and self-regulation, but by technocratic compliance. A society where the polite, the dutiful and the responsible become the easiest people to catalogue, while the ones who ignore the rules walk straight through the cracks the system pretends don't exist. So here's the final question. When a state can see everything and still sees nothing, who exactly is being protected? The answer, as always, not you.